helping Ukrainian military in the zone of ATO. Ukrainian designers are also helping with their charity projects. Now I'm happy to invite Khrystyna Bobkova with the project M23, Fedir, Vozianov, Blue-Yellow project, and Olga Navrotska Mantra project, and Ukrainian artist Gennadiy Gutgarz, who will be the moderator of the briefing.
Press briefing, and I'm delighted to invite Ukrainian designers whose charitable projects contribute to support our soldiers in the east of Ukraine. Khrystyna Bobkova with the project M23, Fedir, Vozianov, Blue-Yellow, and Olga Navrotska with the project Mantra.
Good afternoon. We continue our meetings about art after Maidan. We had already several meetings here in the crisis center, and they were with the artists of different genres. We had musicians, artists, video art artists, and it was logical to invite our colleagues, the designers, fashion designers, who have something to say about how their art changed and their attitude to art changed after Maidan, and how their audience changed, how the audience has become more mature. The artist without the audience cannot survive, and we work for the public. The first one will be Khrystyna Bobkova. She will tell us about her project, I Am 23. This is the project which was made for the Independence Day of Ukraine. I will speak Russian. I'm sorry. When Russian troops were entering Crimea in March, I was in Paris, and then I realized that I will never be aside from what's happening in the country. All the world community was supporting our country, was supporting Ukraine, and for the first time I thought that the autumn and winter show at the fashion show will be done with the music of Ukrainian anthem accompanying it. Then I prepared the project M23, which was dedicated to 23rd anniversary of Ukraine. And these T-shirts, they have double meaning. This is said by a girl who loves fashion, and this is something which is told by the country itself. I'm 23. I myself select the dress, the husband, and the country. This is a woman who can help husbands, help military. I'm 23. I will recollect all my inscriptions. I love military. I'm 23. The life is just starting. One of the biggest tasks was to make these T-shirts very optimistic, despite the fact that awful things are happening in the country. But to say that it is fashionable to be Ukrainian, it is fashionable to support and help military, and the whole project was very optimistic. All the inscriptions were very positive. I select high heels, flowers, and freedom. All these inscriptions were in English and in Ukrainian, and this project was supported by many famous people: Jamala, Satya, Danilevska. I'm 23. I dream about visa-free regime. Victoria Zubenka, who's helping a lot. to our military. Lena from the Kvartal 95 show. All these T-shirts were sold from 2 stores in Kyiv, and all the money which we received were transferred to ATO. I believe that this way every person can do something for your own country. I cannot go and fight, but I can help those who are fighting for us. And I call upon everyone to do it. That is our team, which was creating it all. Thank you. We will later be asking questions. Thank you, Khrystyna. Every one of the artists goes his or her own way to emphasize their attitude to events taking place in the country, to emphasize their ideas. Khrystyna was declaring literally certain messages, but Fedir did it very graphically, and it's like encoded. Good afternoon, I am Fedir Vozianov, and I will tell more about my project, which we prepared as part of Ukrainian Fashion Week. This was a very practical project, first of all, to raise money, to transfer this money to certain servicemen and wounded people in the zone of ATO, or in the war. And I had another task, an artistic task. I was trying to imagine something not what we're not used to. We all know how the flag of Ukraine looks like. It's blue and yellow. We know how it looks like on the cars, but how it looks like inside us. I asked this question, and the answer wasn't that obvious. Because we are thinking with words and symbols, as scientists say, then I believe that the flag of Ukraine inside should look either like words or like symbols. If it looks like words, then these are 2 words, blue and yellow, yellow and blue, and blue-yellow. If these are symbols, then these should be the symbols of the sky and the field. And this way, I made this flag on a flag, and that was a stand on Ukrainian Fashion Week, and that is how it looks like. One of the flags is the text flag, and another one is an image flag. Using this print, we made many things, starting from screenshots and notepads. We stopped selling them yesterday, and next week we will publish the report. All the money that were raised from this project was sent to treat 2 servicemen who are in the Kyiv military hospital. And it is also very important, and it's about patriotism. I believe that this is a very deep feeling, internal feeling, for those who really think about the country. It's important to give proper names to things. And in this project, everything is very obvious, and the colors are only black and white. It looks like for patriotism, to be true to yourself is very important. I believe that is something which is very important, at least for me. Thank you, Fedir. And our third participant is Olga Navrotska. who will demonstrate how she encoded her attitude to the events. Good afternoon. I will speak Russian because I am a Russian-speaking Ukrainian nationalist. I started my way to Patriotic Prince before Maidan. It's quite a mystical history. In September, I made this, which was called Archangels, with the guns and bullets and everything. And when Maidan started, my friend said that there was some the foreseeing here. Then I started printing Stop Regime and then Stop Putin. But people were buying them to express their protest. I understand that the prints on the T-shirts is very important because this way the person shows what they think. There were the T-shirts, heroes do not die, and also the trident. I took my first screenshot where there were swords. I turned it bottoms up, and I realized that that is my trident, and I decorated it with the flowers, and that is my flower dream, which caused a lot of positive emotions. Now I am with Volunteer 100 Ukraine's World, and Mir, peace. We deciphered all the cities of Ukraine in it. I'm programming the universe the way I can. I speak too fast. Everything that is encoded has the symbols, and what you wear, it all has symbols. And the last thing I did, well, at least now, what I did was a screenshot mantra, and that is the image of the trident. And here there are the words of our anthem. Our anthem is very difficult. It's quite tragic, talking about programming the universe. And I took some of the phrases from the anthem, and I encoded them into this trident, and I turned our flag, because I want our flag to be the sun up and the ocean above, and the ocean of people in the bottom. Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes. And now we have seen how the artists who are working in design, how they have changed their activities, their audience, and how they feel the changes which take place. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pity that Khrystyna has left, and I would like to thank the Ukraine Crisis Media Center, which allows us not just to give the information from the NSDC, but also the news from the art, especially because the art news are connected to everything that's happening in Ukraine. And I do not know whether these are the ideas that influence the art, or like with Olga Navrotska. She has her works were foreseeing the events which we are observing in Ukraine. And to you, Olga, and to Fedir, I have a question. How do you believe, what do you believe, how the events in Maidan influenced Ukrainian fashion in your collections, autumn and winter, or maybe it's spring and summer 2015? What's dominating, how the events that we are surviving, how they influence the Ukrainian fashion? We will see more dark colors, or will there be more bright colors? So that we charge people with optimism and energy by these bright colors. What do you think?
It seems to me that all the designers transform their personal feelings into their design work, and that's why I believe that vision of the dark and bright colors is very personal. What's going in Ukraine, of course, is in this or that way reflected in the designers' collections. But even before the events outburst, all the designers expressed their aesthetic interest to the national topic, to the topic of Ukraine. Although there was not so strong relations, so strong ties between their creative work and national idea. Now all the designers pay more attention at the nation. Back in 2012, I issued the collection which was called Inspired by Ukraine. I was very much inspired by Ukrainian culture, by Ukrainian nature. It was a very colorful and flourishing collection. All my background, I survived during the collapse of the Soviet Union, and despite all the turmoil of that years, I felt myself as part of this country. And when I started reading more about Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian history, about heroic events from Cossack times, I felt myself part of this land. And now I'm very much interested in studies on Ukrainian embroidery. Several weeks ago, we were making a movie about Ukrainian embroidery. I believe that all Ukrainians should know about these pages from our cultural past, how complicated, how skillful are those embroiders from 19th century, more than 100 years ago. I believe the more people will pay attention on our national roots, on our old embroideries, etc., the more people will understand our culture and our past. It's very easy to design something in the camouflage style. But we should go further. I think that all the designers, all the artists base their creative work on one of the pillars of their work is a criticism. They are criticizing the surrounding life. When we felt tragedy of the recent past events, we immediately felt that we should respond somehow. And this response appeared to be very successful among the audience. They immediately grasped attention of people. Sweatshirts and T-shirts. This is our only source of fundraising for charity purposes, and the sales of these specially designed T-shirts, it allows us to raise money for charity. Do you know the figures? The Flourishing Dream, which I mentioned, Flourishing Dream project allowed us to collect 9,000 hryvnia within 1 month. I believe this is a good money. Now, when we sell each item, each item costs 600 hryvnia and 200 hryvnia. Out of them, we raise for our charity. This is my message to the universe. Our enemies will disappear. Do you have the website in Facebook? Yes, we have a website. We will resume sales and advertise about this sales, and it will be possible by our designed T-shirts via Facebook. I have a question. I reviewed world designers' collections and noticed that they widely use embroideries similar to Ukrainian ones. Can we assume that this is a fashion to Ukraine? That is, Ukraine become fashionable. Ukrainian embroidery is similar to the global embroidery, so to say. We are in the trend of the entire world. When you look at Dolce and Gabbana made in crisscross stitches, it is very much similar to Ukrainian national crisscross stitches embroidery, and that is, we see global trend. Do you feel stronger attention to Ukraine? Yes, I can say so. Recently, we visited a festival in Budapest, and we wore Ukrainian army forces, and I wore my this T-shirt, and people came to us and they mentioned for years we used to say that we had Chernobyl, Shevchenko, Klitschko, while today everybody knows that Ukrainians are people who believe in freedom. Thank you very much for your charity actions, and thank you for coming and having this briefing with us. I call you up to get involved into the project, in this charity project.
And journalist and consultant. Are you selling these to the diaspora community abroad?
Yes, we can, of course.
Do you have contacts now? I mean,
we can send it by mail, by it's.
But there's no
places.
There's no contact or outlet thus far in
yet,
Canada or
not
America.
Yet.
There should be.
Thank you very much.
От ще ідея для бізнес.
There's another idea for your business. Thank you again. And our next press briefing of Dmytro Shymkiv will take place in a few minutes. Is a little delayed.